thank you for this opportunity and getting everybody together. This is an amazing event and super grateful and thankful to be here. Let's give you guys a little bit of my story and where I've come, how far I've come, and what I've been able to do to get to where I'm at today, and kind of the trials and tribulations that I've been through. So I'll just start. When I was younger, me and my sister kind of had a hard growing up. It was a little rough. Both my parents, they're great, but they drank a lot, and it caused us both to have a void in our lives for a considerable amount of time. So, just like Chris said, growing up, I smoked a lot of weed, and I ran from all my problems, and I drank a lot and did other drugs and just did a bunch of things that were counterproductive to my growth, that weren't positive at all. I did a lot of running for a lot of years, trying to find what I wasn't ever going to find in drugs and alcohol and with women and whatever it was, whatever I could get my hands into that got me away from, my problems. That's what I did. And so I spent years just doing that. I spent years going through the motions. I spent years just trying to find what I was never going to find down the road that I was going down. So when I was about 20, 21 years old, I met Gesner again, and I've known him since high school, but we got really close. He was working at this barbecue restaurant, and I would go to the bar all the time that was across the street. He's been, somebody in my life that I honestly never thought we would get as close as we got. But through all his trials and tribulations and through all mine, we just became super close. And so I'm super grateful and thankful for him, and watching him on a daily basis, going through what he's gone through, it just gives me more strength to do what I do. So when I was about 24, 25, I started dating this girl, and we dated for about a year and a half, and I was doing all the same things that I was doing before. She kind of helped me quit drinking and get on a better path, but I still had a big void that I needed to fill. We ended up breaking up at the end of 2022, and I felt like my whole world was over. I didn't know what direction to go in. I didn't know what was up and what was down. I was just empty. So my sister kept reaching out and kept planting seeds in my head and kept just, encouraging me to change my life, go a different direction. What I was doing wasn't working, and so I just dove headfirst into everything and anything that she was telling me. So, she's an herbalist and a holistic healer, and I was always nervous and super against kind of the road that she went down, because she was always in a lot better place than I was. So I thought, what other option do I really have? I was living at my parents' house. I was 26 years old. My future didn't look too bright. So I moved in with my sister and my brother-in-law, and that was the best decision I ever made. That's the journey that really started everything. So from then on, I started to do everything that I was being instructed to do. So just like my sister said, everything starts with the body, healing the body, and the mind and the spirit, they all come together. So that's what I started to do. I started to detox. I started to heal my body. I quit drinking and smoking and vaping and doing everything. I quit everything in February of 2023, and I started to journal. I started to meditate. I started to do yoga. I started to get outside and go on trails. And when I started to do that, everything started to open up for me. My life started to change. Everything started to shift. When I put my strength and everything into God and started to really make the changes, everything changed. So my relationships with people, how I handled my emotions, how I navigated through life, it just started to change and open. And I started to love my life, because before I hated it. I hated myself, I hated my life, I hated where I was and what I was doing. And when I started to go down that road, my happiness changed, my peace, everything in my life just changed. And that was the best decision I ever made, and that's what I continue to do. So I'm here just to kind of, like, I'm a life coach with Amy. I have multiple friends that I help on a daily basis now, and I'm just super thankful and grateful for that opportunity. I'm super grateful that I chose myself. At the end of the day, choosing yourself is the best decision you can make. Pouring into your own cup, self-love is the best medicine out there. You know, anybody and everybody can tell you what you should be doing, and you know, you can either take people's advice or not, but it doesn't really matter what somebody says to you. It's about the actions more than the words. So as I get further down this journey, I just encounter more and more growth, and I love it. You know, so that's my drug of choice now, is growth. You know, just being in the best possible state I can be in, and giving back to everybody and anybody that is, you know, is willing to hear and to go down a different path and to change. Because in this life, that's what we need, is change. We need to change, and we need to help one another. We need to love everybody. And in order to do that, you got to love yourself. So I'm just going to end this with love yourself, put yourself first. And when you put yourself first, you can pour into everybody else's cup. But only then will you be able to. So thank you for this opportunity. Like I said, I'm Jake, and I appreciate it.